So, without further delay, I would like to hand over the charge to the captain of the ship, the president of Karachi Toastmaster Club, Toastmaster Rusa Kawal. Over to you, Toastmaster Rusa Kawal.
Thank you so much, Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ali Asher. Prehistoric times, a time which, by the dictionary, is a time before people even began to write. Even before, those fancy tablets were made, probably before human civilization. That is queer, isn't it? There was a quote I read somewhere. Someone asked a learned person, when do you consider a society civilized? And they said, when I see a broken and healed femur. It shows that someone got hurt and someone else had the time and sense enough to take care. But why a femur? It's one of the strongest bones in the body. And it's when it's broken, obviously you cannot run, and surviving it's next to impossible if there is an attack. In today's world, we take civilization for granted. We believe we have come so far that civilization is us. Maybe we do not need to look for broken bones, mended femurs. Maybe all we need is a little change. With that, I'd like to give a small introduction about Toastmasters for those of you who are new here. Toastmasters was formed in 1920s by a man called Ralph Smedley. He saw a, a group of young boys who couldn't speak. Public speaking was coming very difficult to them. So he formed a group and he taught them. And with that group, one group became two groups became three groups. And within no time, there was this beautiful organization called Toastmasters. And today, that organization is existent in more than 100 countries and has more than, uh, I don't remember, more than 300,000 members. So it's a international organization. And being a member of it is networking, public speaking, communication, whatnot. It's a wonderful thing to be part of it. With that, let's start off our segments for today. So since we do not have our VPE or secretary, so no business segment, we can move on. So I'd like to introduce our Toastmasters of the evening. He is our VPPR. You can call him whenever there is a problem in the PR strategy or anything, and he creates one of the most astonishing uh, graphics. So please welcome, with your virtual round of applause, the Toastmasters of the evening, Toastmasters Sachwe.
Thank you very much, Madam President. But first, allow me to do the honors to ask to ask the introductions of our guest, who is guest Ian Gray. Well I I know you, but please give your introduction.
Ian Gray. I'm speaking to you from Scotland. I first met SAD due to the Maguire programme. I have a stammer. I am a coach on the Maguire programme, and we like to challenge ourselves with speaking opportunities. I was talking to Sad this morning, and he said there was going to be a Toastmasters Zoom session tonight, and would I like to join? And I'm delighted to join and see all you strangers to me, but hopefully I'm going to have a really good time. Unfortunately, I will have to leave for about 25 minutes. About it's now 2 o'clock UK time. About 2:30, I will disappear for a short time, but I will be back. So I'm really looking forward to this. Ian Gray.
Thank you very much, Ian, for that wonderful introduction. So now let's formally start our meeting. Prehistoric times, a time when things were a lot simpler. No technology, no nothing, no worry in the world to earn money, to go to work or to do anything. But still, people people did pretty good for themselves. And now, with time, the technology has become a part of our lives. Even when even when we don't know about it, technology is everywhere. Even right now, we are speaking through Zoom. We have members from the UK, from UAE, from Kuwait, and from different parts of the world. So that's something we must not take for granted. Now moving on to the meeting in general. Every Toastmaster meeting has three main segments: the prepared speeches, the table topics, and followed by the most important one, which is the evaluations session. And to make sure this meeting runs smoothly, because you can't only count on me to do it. So I'll need some assistance from my team of wonderful role players. So the first role player is the grammarian, who is our immediate past president, Toastmaster Imran Rana. So please, Toastmaster Imran Rana, introduce your role.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. Apologies due to some technical issues. I cannot turn on my video. So today, as a grammarian, my role is to note down the incorrect usages of grammar and some good uses of grammar. And at the end, I will suggest the correct use of grammar without mentioning the name. Over to you, Toastmasters.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran. Next, I would like to invite our timer for the meeting, all the way from Kuwait, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. So, Toastmaster Latif, please introduce your role in that excellent background of yours.
Thank you to Toastmaster of the Day, TM Saad. Today, my role will be to time each and every speaker. What I'm going to do is, each and every speaker has been allotted as a prepared speech. There are from 5 to 7 minutes. and the last speaker, Ali Asharanjum, is 10 to 12. So what I'll be doing is at 5, I will be changing my background to green, and then yellow when there will be the target time, and the red when there will be the time to finish. There will be a 30 seconds grace, plus minus, both sides. During table topics, it will be from 1 to 2 minutes, and another 30 seconds will be there as a grace period. And just to pin my screen so that you don't be disqualified after the red light turns the dangerous red. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Latif. Next, I would like to call upon our word master who is attending the meeting for the first time as the member of Karachi Toastmasters Club. So first of all, welcome and please introduce your role of the word master.
Hi, good day. My name is Wajahat. As you all know, I have been attending this meeting for only 1 week, and I am quite optimistic that in upcoming days I am having some kind of good results by joining with you guys, inshallah. So, as far as my role is concerned, I was a bit terrifying to adopt any role just because I am new in the field. So, but I choose one role, so just I want myself to involve in the meeting properly. So my role is you can name it as a word master, and I am going to give you the word. Should I give you right now? Sorry.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Okay. So the word is it is not very extensive. It is not very hard to pronounce. It is improvisation. Improvisation. It is very easy, and you have been listening this word for a long time. I think it is not a very rare. So the meaning of this, I'm also going to share this, the meaning of this word into the chat portion as well. But the meaning of this, something that is improvised in a particular, a piece of music, drama, etc., created spontaneously or without preparation. Like you can just put this word into the new thing you are doing, or do you improvise anything, like whatever you are doing as a regular basis, you are improvising that thing, like creativity. It is totally depending on the creativity. So this is the word of for the today. I'm going to listen your speech and all the things on very carefully, and then at the end of the day, at the end of the meeting, I am going to announce the people who are taking who are adopting this word, how many time in the speeches or whenever they are communicating. Thank you very much. Over to you, Saad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Wajahat, for that elaborated explanation of your role. Next, I would like to call upon the listener of the meeting, who is Toastmaster Heba. Toastmaster Heba is gone. Okay, so basically okay. Apologies for that.
It's okay. As the fellow Toastmasters and guest, as the listener, I would be making note of all the interesting words and phrases spoken by the speaker during the prepared speeches and the table topic session. And at the end of the session, I would be calling out the interesting words and phrases, and the audience will have to guess who spoke what. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Heba. And apologies again for missing you out. So next we have our counter, who is Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. So Toastmaster Naveed, are you with us?
Yes, I am still driving, very bad traffic. So my role, I think this is third in a row, is I will count any hiccups, and ums, and I will share that with you at the end of the at the end of the event when facilitators will be sharing their results. So that's my role.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naveed. Next, we have the word counter. Word counter. Where's the where's the word counter? Counter. Is he in the meeting? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Toastmaster Sachweb. Sachweb is the word counter. So my job will be to ask for votes after every segment of the meeting. So after prepared speeches, after table topics, after the evaluations, and also at the end. And for the big four, you'll be getting a poll, and and I would request all of you to please cast your vote for the best speaker, not the not the not the prepared, not your favorite speaker. So that's something, and 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 my role won't be counted unless we have a tie. So that's about it. So next we we have the joke master who is Toastmaster Hiba Reis Khan. Khan. Please please
Yes.
lighten the mood of the meeting.
Okay. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, as per the tradition, I came across a few jokes to entertain the audience. And the first one is, what's the best way to burn 1,000 calories? Leave the pizza in the oven. The second one, what did the left eye say to the right eye? Between us, something smells. The third one, why don't the melons ever get married? Because they can't elope. The fourth one, what did the nose say to the finger? Quit picking on me. And the last one, no, the fifth one. What is black, sits on a tree and is very dangerous? A raven with a machine gun. And the last one, why did the nurse need a red pen at work? In case she needed to draw blood. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hiba. Really, you always ace the session of joke master, and you never disappoint. So now let's jump into the first part of the meeting, which is the prepared speech session. For that, I would like to call upon the first speaker, who is our own Madam President, Toastmaster Purusa Kawal. She'll be giving two back to back speeches with different timing. So for to explain her project our project details, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Shamam Khan. So please explain the objective of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Sajid. Toastmaster Urusa is going to deliver her project from the Pathways Managed project successfully. The her speech is divided, as Sajid mentioned, is divided into two parts. In the first part, she is going to uh, tell us about the practice of her developing a plan, building a team, and fulfilling the plan with the help of her team. In the and that will be for 2 to 3 minutes. In her second speech, she is going to um, share with us some aspects of her experience managing this project. And this time, her speech length would be from 5 to 7 minutes. So I'm looking forward for Toastmaster Urusa to share with us how she manages her project successfully. Over to you, Toastmaster Urusa.
Thank you so much, dear Evaluator. The phone rang, and it was the district director. Now, the last time I got a call from him, it was during his own elections, and I wondered if this time he was going to pitch me something again. But he had some really weird news to give me. He had formed some serious committees, and one of them was the Women's Committee. He explained that he wanted to see more women in leadership roles, more women winning contests, and also as DTNs. And to that end, he had formed a women's committee, the focus of which was to work towards increased female participation. I was to chair it. I listened in silence, and I learned about the fantastic team of 5 amazing women who were going to help me. Our very own Toastmaster Anam from KTC, Toastmaster Aruj Rahat from Ravi Toastmasters, Toastmaster Noreen, who is the current admin manager, Toastmaster Farma Fatma from ICAP Toastmasters, and Toastmaster Myra Ruba from Professional Toastmasters. This small team was handed down to me, and we were individually told we had to make something out of nothing. Days passed. We listened. We thought about this. Then we planned our first meeting. In that meeting, we mutually decided we did not know anything about the problems women of District 122 TC had. Since there was obviously no connect between us except for the connection we had with women in our clubs. So we mutually again decided that a survey was required. And we floated that survey to around 100 women in the district. We got really good and encouraging responses. Most of those responses and most of the problems pertain to roles women had could not take, and some were from came to communication problems. Imagine in Toastmasters, people or women had communication problems. Hence, the subtle idea of a meeting where women could rule each and every role started taking place. The district director was already in on the idea, so all that remained was executing the meeting in Toastmasters fashion. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, we set out ourselves the task of getting women on one platform. All we had was a database of nearly women from the district and one goal. Now that I see standing at the end goal, the goal or the end result was that all we needed. But there was one thing more that we had: doubt. If women weren't interested in their respective clubs, why would they even care to join a women only meeting? The survey also showed us that women were not happy being afforded the chances in their respective clubs. So, was that an opportunity or was that an outright discouraged member? At that moment, I wasn't ready to jump to the bright side of conclusions. But nevertheless, we sent out invitations on all social channels. And guess what? Our responses, the list of responses that we got were not only from Pakistan, we got responses from outside Pakistan as well. The next step was setting the agenda. In our discussions, we realized that the meeting needed a star factor. Someone women would confirm with, relate to, someone who could gel in with us also, and without feeling weirded out. Toastmasters can feel like a hurdle for someone who is not a public speaker, who does not know how to communicate. So in walked Dr. Asma Kazi, a PhD with 35 research papers and a holder of TEDx license. She was perfect. She knew how to speak. She was familiar with Toastmasters. She had people would have no problem relating to her story. And then we thought, what if we could add more star power? Toastmaster Uruj had her project managing a panel discussion coming up, and she thought, let's do that. She invited three more panelists: a lady who had a clothing business, another lady who had an NGO for 18 years, and a Toastmaster, Toastmaster Jaya Jaggi. All these ladies totally related to our women in Toastmasters, and one of them also proved to be an amazing word of mouth for Toastmasters. During this execution, I learned three things. Team is very important. If your team is more creative, highly determined, then it helps to drive your project in the right direction. Instead of questioning someone's drive, it's always advisable to incorporate their creativity into the project. Second, and very important, we do not need to know everything. Sometimes all the answers we get are totally wrong and totally discouraging. Moving on can yield amazing results. In our initial chit chat, we got an amazingly confusing picture of non attendance. The survey told us that the roles were not clear to the women, and but the zeal and excitement with which the women came up to take up the roles and the way they even stayed connected afterwards was astonishing. Once we were there at the end, everything became clearer. And lastly, outcomes can be really unexpected. Once everyone was connected and in one place, all we needed to do was to maintain it. This was never there in our initial plan. We never thought we'd have to deal with the connected women's group. So now what? All we needed to do was to maintain it, keep people engaged and sharing. The Women's Committee was born out of sheer need and mutual understanding of the vision of Toastmasters. We all knew what Toastmasters was and where we were coming from. The need to have more female engagement at all levels of it. Pink Hats meeting proved to be the first step of execution and it proved to be very encouraging. However, the journey is far from over. The team is geared up for the next meeting and even the next. Maybe even forming the first women only club in District 122 TC. Pink Hats, as we call it proudly, has become the pinnacle of female success, defying all odds that were placed against us right in the beginning. Rarely are opportunities presented to us in perfect ways. In a nice little box with a pink bow on the top saying, here it is, it's perfect, you'll love this one. No, it's never like that. The good opportunities are confusing, messy, hard to recognize. They are risky and they are challenging. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Urusa, for that excellent and very encouraging speech. Our next speaker is Toastmaster Karim Meghani, and he will be evaluated by Toastmaster Anam Khatri. So please, Toastmaster Anam, explain the project.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sajwe. TM Karim Meghani is going to present his speech on the project evaluation and feedback. This project is actually based on the delivery of the speech, and on the basis of this evaluation, he'll have to present the same speech a second time. So basically, this is supposed to be. So the topic of his speech is the story of Mr. Harichan. His time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, TM Karim. Best of luck.
If you don't know how to do the steward work, how you will supervise it? This was the first words I listened from my first supervisor when I started my first job. Mr. Toastmasters and my fellow colleagues, hello. Today I am talking about my first supervisor. As my title suggests, this was Mr. Harichan. So that's my first day at work. Let me give you a little background about my first day. So this is a hotel, Karachi Marriott Hotel. You may all know this hotel. It's a 5-star hotel. A 19-year-old Karim Meghani is sitting in the HR department of Karachi Marriott Hotel in February 1999. And I'm sitting at the HR department in my suit, which I'm wearing right now. Probably it's a different version of it. And I'm sitting at the HR department and I'm there for my first day at the management training at Karachi Marriott Hotel. And I'm starting my work journey at 19-year-old. And I'm sitting with the HR department and the guy was saying to me, welcome to Karachi Marriott Hotel. You all are selected for the management training at Karachi Marriott Hotel. And we are expecting you to be one day managers in this hotel. I said, okay, wow, that's a wonderful opportunity. Because when I applied for this position, I was not aware that what I will be doing. I just, a young guy, applied for the hotel and went to this hotel and accepted for this position. Okay, so the first day, first half, the HR manager gave us the orientation. A big hotel, 214 rooms. You will be working with a lot of people. There are several departments. And one day you will be managing this place. The orientation lasts for another 2-3 hours. The director said for the HR, and he said that, now you guys can go to the cafeteria. You can have your wonderful meal. And once you come back from the meal, then we will assign you your first work. Okay, I'm happy. I went to the hotel cafeteria, a wonderful buffet. I still remember it was a wonderful, delicious nihari at that day. And it was served with wonderful naan and, several desserts were there at the hotel cafeteria for the staff. I had a wonderful time. I was really excited. Okay, now what? Now I'm going to finish my lunch. I had a wonderful time. I meet with a lot of managers and everything. I again go back to the HR department. And the first thing the HR manager told me is that meet your first supervisor. This is your first supervisor, Mr. Harichan, and he will explain you what is your work today. Okay, guys, I'm going with Mr. Harichan. The first thing Mr. Harichan tells me, welcome. Okay, so you are ready for the hotel work now, the hospitality industry. It's very challenging. I said, yes, I'm ready, sir. I'm really excited about this work. Okay, let's go. I'm going to the hotel back office, and they took me to one of the basements. I said, why I'm in the basement? I'm asking myself this question. And then, Mr. Harichan said, are you surprised that the hotel looks like this? I said, yes, I'm really surprised. What is this? He said, this is the basement and there is no air conditioning. And you are in a suit and tie. I think you will not like it to work here in a suit and tie. I said, but I was supposed to be a manager. I said, no, just wait. I will let you know what your work is. Okay, now I enter to the basement. In the basement, there is another big room, and there is so much crockery and cutlery there. And Mr. Harichan told me, welcome to the crockery and cutlery room. This is a machine where we shine this crockery and cutlery. Why you have to shine crockery and cutlery? So Mr. Harichan explains me that hotel cannot afford everyday new crockery and cutlery. Every day we have to shine it. And today, my dear friend, you have to shine this crockery and cutlery. Wow. I was expecting to be managing things. I'm not here to do shining the crockery and cutlery. And Mr. Harichan said the words which I said in the beginning of my speech. My dear friend, if you want to be a manager, you need to learn what a steward does. So the first day, removed my jacket, removed my tie, put it on the side, and I'm shining the crockery and cutlery. Guys, this is the first day of the work. After 2 years of working all departments of the hotel, starting with the crockery and cutlery, I reached to the banquet manager, one day assistant manager of Karachi Marriott Hotel at the banquets. So what Mr. Harichan told me that day, what was the message he was trying to explain? He was trying to explain me, my dear friend, if you don't know what people are doing at the back office, you cannot supervise them. You cannot manage them. And guys, that was a big learning. 20 years passed on that first day, but I didn't forget that day. That was a wonderful day of my life, wonderful learning of my life. And today, what am I right now? It's because of that first day. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kareem, for that excellent speech. So now we move on to our next speaker, who is Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, who has finally reached home. So his evaluator is Toastmaster Ali Asharanjum. So please, Toastmaster Ali, explain the objective of the speech.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad. My targeted speaker, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. He is on his pathway of presentation mastery and he is on level 1. His today's project is evaluation and feedback, and he is delivering his second speech. His speech title is Pakistan Economy, Where We Stand and Where We Are. So best of luck, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam.
So Toastmasters, we all get impacted with the inflation, with the changes in the exchange rate, and high prices. And as layman, this is what our judgment is to basically evaluate how the government of the day is handling economy. But let's take a look as a nation from where we have started our economic journey and where we have reached so far in those 7 decades. Let's have a look from where we started. So when Pakistan actually came into being, we were strong for 40 million patriots. And of the total population of 40 million, 80% were farmers. No businessmen, finance professionals. The rest of the 20% are shopkeepers. Those finance professionals or businessmen were largely Hindus migrated to India. So, and on the industry side, I'll give you a small number to understand what the problem, the quantum of the problem. So we were given 16 cotton mills as compared to 800 in India. The situation was really difficult and the start was shaky. But fellow Toastmasters, we as a nation, what we have done. So right now, Pakistan is the 34th largest economy of the world. We could not feed at that time 40 million people. Now feed 200 million people. We also export wheat, rice, and other commodities. Our growth rate over the last 7 decades was on an average around 5%. Starting from 80s, from 60s to late 70s and in 80s, our growth rate was almost 2% above the average of the continent where we live, not the continent, but the South Asia. So that was actually what we were and what we have achieved. We have brought in, we emerged as leading exporter of textiles, and we set up fertilizers, we set up cement, we set up automobiles. We also bring vast area of agriculture through Tarbela and Mangla Dam. So if you look at all these things, fellow Toastmasters, it looks impressive, right? There's quite a lot of journey that we have actually, we as a nation has done. But if we look at critically what our lackings are, where we actually fail, it basically pale all of the achievements that I have just mentioned. The worst is our performance around Human Development Index and across our institutional building. Those are the two main areas which got very weak. Our economic policies were never remain consistent. We had episodes of growth. In some years we grow and then flattened out and then gone down. So there were periods of growth, lacks consistency. We couldn't collect taxes, resulting in a vicious circle of fiscal indiscipline, going back to the multilateral institutions for loans, resulting in poverty becomes rampant and the GDP to the debt increasing day by day. Agriculture paid no taxes. That may be because of the design of our political system and because of the great sway those landlords holding political offices. And you know, fellow Toastmasters, since 1990, the average rate of growth went down and continuing. We now fall into the low income countries matched with poor countries of Africa. Last but not the least, corruption, not only in our political system, but in the every facet of our society, which created safe havens for the shortcuts and nothing for the entrepreneurs. Probably we couldn't identify all the root causes and suggest it within this 5 to 7 minutes, but I have 3 suggestions which I think can make a good impact. We have to build trust. Number one, we have to build trust in the system and make our institutions strong. This will certainly help in the long run. The second one, political parties need to do a charter of economy containing corruption and continuity of policies. The last one, diversity of our export with more value added industries and embracing the knowledge economy. Thank you very much. Over to you, Saad.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naveed, for that highly informative and really eye-opening speech. So the next speaker is Toastmaster Saad Shoaib. Is he in the meeting? Yeah. Yeah, he is.
No, he just left.
Please don't do that to me. Okay, so my speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Karim Meghani. So please, Toastmaster Karim, can you read out the speech requirement, please?
Hello, Mr. Toastmaster and my fellow colleagues. So our next speech is from TM Saad Shoaib. He'll be talking, his speech title is the Clearing Smoke. It's the next pathway, second pathway he's starting today with his icebreaker speech. And his speech length is 4 to 6 minutes. So all the best, Mr. Saad, and wish you all the best. And we are hoping for learn a lot from you today.
Okay, masters and guests, another pathway, another Toastmasters journey begins. The first pathway was really just okay, speech 1, speech 2, come on, let's just do the speeches. But as the speeches kept on going, I started to be more mindful about what I was saying during my speeches. So that actually forced me into picking up the pace and also eventually completing my pathway. So I think now not much is unknown about me, but for the benefits of the new members by profession, I'm a digital media marketer with over 3 years of experience in different companies. By education, I'm a bachelor's in computer science. By passion, I'm a cricket enthusiast. I can go on and on and on about cricket, day, night, anytime. And apart from that, if you merge all of my profession, all of my education, all of my passion, I've always been a Toastmaster. Because Toastmaster actually gives you the tool to incorporate in all facets of your life. In your institute, you need to give speeches, Toastmasters. In your passion, you need to talk about something and you need to be convincing enough. Toastmasters. In your profession, you need to basically demand about your worth and ask for the gains that you know you deserve. Again, Toastmasters. So after my pathway, which it took me about 1 month to choose, and my official mentor who's not in the meeting right now thankfully, it actually took me about 1 month to choose that pathway, because I was totally unsure that that was not the case with this one. Yes, I did ask for the opinions of my official mentors and also my other mentors, but eventually I I chose a pathway which I know will totally challenge me. That is to put a smile on on your faces. That is engaging humor. So let's see how this journey goes. And apart from engaging the yeah, now I can. Okay, I'll just I'll just wrap it up now that that my that my final goal was to improve my English language, because I know that's a pretty basic task, but that's one perk which I'm realizing after becoming an active member of Toastmaster, and also experiencing such amazing words, sentences, grammar by each and every Toastmaster who is giving speeches or not. Just the just the basic interaction, might be text, might be anything. So yeah, that's about it. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Sat. So the next speaker we have is Toastmaster Ali at Karanjum, and Toastmaster Ali will be evaluated by Toastmaster Ali. So please, Toastmaster Ali, Toastmaster Ali Hassan Babar, explain the objectives of Toastmaster Ali's project. Are you with us?
Thank you, Toastmaster Saad.
Toastmaster.
I am right with you in the middle of the dinner. Well, let me give it a try. So
What are you
I'll be
having for
evaluating. I will be evaluating Toastmaster Aliya Sharanjam, and he will be presenting his project on dynamic leadership. And the project is regarding managing a difficult audience. And for my friend, the timer, it is 10 to 12 minutes. The project, the purpose of the project is for him to practice the challenges he will be facing outside Toastmasters family. And the topic of the speech is virtual learning. Are we ready? Virtual learning. Are we ready? Over to Toastmaster Ali. All the best.
Am I audible?
Absolutely.
Here comes the time when we hear the certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying, and it's time to lend your hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on. Yes, we can't go on in this pandemic because we are not ready here. We are not ready to face the world. We are not ready to do anything. Since December 2019, the whole world is hit with the pandemic. And from Wuhan to everywhere around the globe, the earth halts. Our homes become our workplaces, and our screens become our teachers, our mentor, and everything. And we are in a serious struggle. That what it's actually do, that it's also hurts a sort of things that we are listening to someone, and on the screen we are doing all the things like drinking water, sneaking things. But what about the education? The whole scenarios are in a great trouble. The Pakistan, whose literacy rate is only 58%. Are we ready for the virtual learning? Not.
Excuse me, TM Ali Asher Anjum. I had to ask, where did you get the figure from? The figure that you just quoted, where did you get it from? Can I know the source?
Yes, I get it from the stata.com, and I also verified it from other sources. And thank you so much, PM Kiba. I must mention that thing that according to the data, the literacy rate of Pakistan is only 58%. And Stata also said that there are only 35% of the people have internet access in the country of 23 million. And we are in the pandemic, and we are going virtual. So what about the 65%? What about?
We need ways to improvise, PM Ali Asher. Yes. We as teachers need to be prepared for everything that comes along. Isn't that the purpose of a teacher?
Yes, exactly. Improvisation is the key. Thank you so much, Anam Kadri, that you helped me to recognize that thing, that the improvisation is the key. for the success. We have to adapt in each and every situation. We have to adopt. But I am afraid of it, TM Anand, that all teachers are not to, to as the, the, the compatible as you. There, there are teachers who don't know how to use computer. So are we ready for the virtual learning? I don't think so. And I am afraid that we are far behind. The theme of the meeting is prehistoric era. And now I am feeling like that I am living in that era because virtual learning concept is not fun.
I beg to
Yes,
defer
please.
to Toastmaster Ali. I believe even though there may be general illiteracy in this country, the usage of mobile devices and tablets is rampant across all stratas of this society. Even the very poor have access to phones and devices and are, quickly adapting to learning how to use apps and things. So why do you think they'd be behind in even getting online education of any kind? I don't agree with you. What would you say? They're
Yes.
very, very small.
Yes. In a country of 23 million people, there are many layers. And 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 I got afraid. And I was fearful when I read the report of Digital Pakistan. And according to them, only 35% of the population have access to internet. And that's why I am quoting all this. Yes, there are many people who have access to the internet, but what they are doing right now, they all are cheering for and they all are going to celebrate Shafqat Day on 26 November, as they don't want to study. And this behavior sore my heart that we are going. And virtual learning concept is not a new one. It is as old as my 18-year younger brother. Virtual learning concept was emerged in 2002. And we are still afraid that we cannot not go to the virtual things. And in this whole scenario, I also observe a social conundrum of a youth. They are not in the streamline or the mainstream, or they are not catching up the trend of the whole globe. Distance learning is a normal concept in all over the globe, but we resist to adopt it. In this pandemic, we all are facing so many challenges: stress, economic crisis, and all of a sudden this social crisis. That in the era where virtual learning is not a new thing and is a new normal, but we don't want to adopt that normal. Our teachers like Anand Kadri should adopt these things. Teachers like Anand Kadri who improvise is should be the ideal for all the teachers. because
I would like to ask you something.
yes, please.
That not everybody likes this idea of virtual teaching. Like some people are comfortable with it, others are not, and we don't even get to know that the one you are teaching, your students or whomsoever, will is basically understanding your point of view, or there could be any differences in between, like internet connection, not paying attention. How you know work on that things?
Thank you so much, PM Navinda. You highlighted the uh, the basic agenda of the youth, and that's why I fear that why we are not that adaptable to adapt the new trends of the world. Okay, there are challenges. We have to cater those challenges. Yes, there are lackness from all the things. We don't have a good internet speed. Yes, there are so much issues that we have freaking breakdown of electricity. Yes, we have many issues, but we have to be optimistic. We have to adapt ourselves in a certain situation and foster ourselves and each and every people around us that they can adapt in each and every situation, because adaptation is the key to the success in this era of the pandemic. We are not ready, but we have to ready, because I think being a researcher, coronavirus COVID-19 is just a beginning of the catastrophe that might be happening in the future. And that's why all the whole globe was preparing for it for the last 2 decades. The technological advancement is 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 in the past is for today, was for today, but what we did nothing. We are still living in the prehistoric era, according to me, and we are not ready. In my heart soars. Over to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Sasha.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ali, for that brave speech countering such a ruthless audience. So now that brings us to an end of the prepared speech session. So Toastmaster Latif, has everyone qualified? You are muted. Okay,
yes, all speakers are qualified.
Brilliant. So, and now is the word counter speaking. So please everyone cast your vote for the best speaker, and the votes will end in about 20 seconds. That's actually very much difficult when you are also the speaker and also the word counter. So thank you Thank you very much, everyone, for voting. Now comes the time for the table topic session, which is being conducted by our very own, our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Ali Asharanjum. So, Toastmaster Ali, take it away.
Okay. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad. I believe that I am audible.
Absolutely.
Okay. So the theme of the day is prehistoric times. So for that, I prepared a PowerPoint presentation. So Toastmaster Sashri, please allow me to share my screen. So today's session, and meanwhile you are giving me today's session is a bit, I am going to deliver. I believe that my screen is shared and you all are watching the prehistoric time. Okay.
Absolutely.
So actually prehistoric time starts 4.5 billion years ago. Earth formed out of smaller rocks flying around the sun, and and uh, and all this data is extracted from the geologist.com. So the second main event on the earth was 3500 million years ago, when first very simple and tiny form of life in the sea formed. Then 600 million year ago, first animal was found, and 500 billion years ago, plants and animal grew on the land. And 230 million years ago, first dinosaur appeared, and between 230 and 255 million year ago, dinosaurs disappears and mammal take place of the dinosaurs. So it's time for my first table topic speaker. So my first table topic speaker would be Toastmaster Ali Hassan Babar. Toastmaster Ali Hassan Babar, can I have you?
Yes, I am here.
Okay. So your topic is you wake up and find a baby dinosaurs beside you. So you have 3 minutes for it, and word of the day is
1 to 2 minutes.
Yes.
Table topic
Word
1
of
to 2.
Yes, 1 to 2 minutes, and word of the day is improvisation. So over to you, Toastmaster Babar Ali Hassan.
Thank you, Toastmaster. And I think it's been almost a year. I have not been assigned the table topic for almost a year. Thank you so much for breaking the ice, Toastmaster Ali Sharanjam. And recently I was thinking about it, that when you live as a bachelor, you literally lose all the socialization that you make with the family on daily basis. The life changes completely. So I was wondering what could be the way out apart from marriage, because that is obviously one way to socialize more with a human being. But if I think I wake up in the morning and I find a dinosaur next to me, I think most of my problems would be resolved for socialization, at least, or maybe to have any living soul around me to take care of, to talk to, or to play with. I will have any person, any living being other than my wife. I think that would be a better solution. And look, let me know if there's any way I can make it possible. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ali Hasnan Babar, for your wonderful speech. Okay. Okay. So then 300 million years ago, 30 million years ago, first ape was come. Then 2.5 million years ago, first human come to the earth or born. So my second, and I want Toastmaster Janzeb Shah. Can I have you? Toastmaster Janzeb Shah. Toastmaster Janzeb Shah.
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. So your topic is imagine you are the first human on the earth.
Thank you so much for the wonderful topic. And these days climate change and the impacts on the environment the human beings are doing. So it is not far away when, unfortunately, this would become the reality. So that is a big fear in many people's mind, and we all should be aware of our intentions in whatever things spend or which we produce. Otherwise, the thing or the map which you are painting today, that would become a reality. So that is the most important part which we all should be aware, and we all should consider. Otherwise, we all will go back. We all will be because of the climate change things which are happening, and which
Toastmaster
is
Janzeb, I
really
guess you're not
fierce.
audible.
So it is important that we all should consider and realize that it is one thing to consider. So that is the yes, there is signals disruption. So is it okay now?
Yes, it is okay.
All right. So I would like to conclude that we all should be aware about the climate change and our actions as like which contribute dearly to our well-being, dearly to this community and the environment. So over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Janzeb Shah. Now let's continue my story. Okay, so okay. So then 2.5 million years ago, start of the lower Paleolithic age, during which type of early pre-human called this, and then one 1 million year ago, a type of early human called Homo erectus lived. People made hand axes, wood spears. 25000 years ago, first Homo sapien, which is also known as modern people, make uh, people make fire, use bellows, and people hunt elephant. So my next table topic is for the guest from the UK, Scotland, Mr. Gray. Uh, can we have you, Toastmaster Len Gray? Okay, so your topic is which animal do you want to tame? You have 1 to 2 minutes for it.
Ian Gray. Well, the obvious answer must be the elephant, because the elephant has proved through time that it's intelligent, it's strong, it has a family instinct, which is really important. And unfortunately, when they die, there's a lot of food to be had. So, not having experience of that particular time, I definitely think that the elephant would be a really good animal to train. And eventually, as has been proved, they can work in a circus, which maybe not a good thing these days, not politically correct to have animals like that. I do object to animal cruelty, and I must say on a serious note that when you see how elephants are treated these days, it is a shame. But I think if I had to pick way back in the days, an elephant would be a really, really good animal to train. Ian Gray.
Thank you so much, Ian Gray. And now, okay, then 100,000 years ago, oh, the first time people used to live in the cave, and they uh, start burrowing each other. Then 10 uh, 10,000 years ago, last ice age end, and people use dogs to hunt and carry things. Then 7,000 in 7,000 BC, people in Southwest Europe began using copper to make tools. That is a good improvisation for them. Then in 6,000 BC, British Isles move away from the Europe. So my next question is from Toastmaster Wajahat, and yes. So what if you wake up and your house move away in the ocean? So you have 1 to 2 minutes for it, and the word of the day is improvisation.
Toastmaster Wajahat, you're not audible.
Yes, you're not. Yes.
Now I'm audible. Am I audible?
Yes. You're perfectly audible.
Yeah, thank you very much for providing me the opportunity to speak. For a long time, I've been looking for, and Word Master is a very interesting job. So let's come to your topic. Your topic is that suppose if I wake up in any day and my house is floating between the ocean. So it would be fascinating, attracting, and very good sightseeing if I will find myself in the middle of the ocean, because nowadays you know that people have already been so tired, and they are they just want to keep away from the noises and all the pollution we are facing nowadays. So it's a very great opportunity for me that if I will find my house in the middle of the ocean. So I will try to make it as a ship, and then just sail it towards um, any island, because you know there is a lot of there must be, if there's a lot of oceans, so there's a chance that we are having more island as well. So if we are having more islands, so there is a possibility that we can spend some good time over there. So it would be very great for me if I will find in the middle of the sea. I'm repeating 3 times because I'm new, you know that. So it will be good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so
Over
much,
to you.
Mr. Vajat, for your wonderful voyage. Might be you are going to be the Christopher Columbus of Karachi Toastmaster Club. Might be discovered something like that. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, so then in 2580 BC, Egyptian built the Great Pyramid in Gaza, and in 2400 BC, people make Stonehenge in England. So my next question, or the table topic, is for Toastmaster Sheikh Naveed. So Toastmaster Sheikh Naveed, can we have you? Toastmaster Sheikh Naveed?
And not in the meeting.
Okay. So can we have Toastmaster Hiba Rais Khan? Toastmaster Hiba. Okay. So your topic is, if you had a choice, what you will build instead of Pyramid of Giza?
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, if I would have the chance, I would like to build a time capsule. In if I ever get the chance, I would like to build a time capsule instead of a pyramid of Giza, because instead I would like to travel back in time, especially to my school days, school and college days, which I really miss a lot. And I really miss those carefree days when I used to enjoy my summer holidays, my winter vacations with my cousins and the places that we used to go. And I also reminisce the fact that reminisce the good times, the things we used to eat, and instead of building the pyramid of Giza, the time capsule is something which I suppose we all would like to use in one way or another to travel back to good memories and to recall the good times we had in the past, like me. And time capsule is something which is needed nowadays, especially to get by the pandemic, which has made us freeze in a certain moment of time. And we are either stuck at our homes or in our at a certain place, and we cannot communicate, we cannot move about from place to place. And we instead so time capsule is something which is I would say it's a must nowadays, especially in this pandemic, because I would like to rewind back the good time that I had before the pandemic, and especially in my school and college days. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I wish they would build time capsule instead of Pyramid of Giza. Okay, so now let's move on. Okay. So in 3300 BC to 1200 BC, Bronze Age in Britain started. People make tools from bronze. And in 1200 BC to 480, in Britain, people make tools out of iron. And Roman Empire rises and then falls. So my next or my last st- uh, topic to Toastmaster Anam Kadri. Toastmaster Anam Kadri, can we have you? Okay.
Yes.
So your topic is, in which prehistoric era you want to live?
Thank you so much, CM Ali. Well, I would like to go back to the era in which we were working on, we were going through the Stone Age. Because then the first thing that I would do is that I would explore for stones, some precious ones, keep it for today, so that it might be helpful in embellishing me right now, all embellished up in all kind of jewels, all kind of stones. I can even brag about it. Okay, I'm the billionaire, I'm the millionaire, and I can even sell it off today. So, maybe think about something profitable. Why not? When you have come along from the Stone Age and you have finally entered it here, plus I get something for myself, for my family, for my children to treasure for the rest of their lives, to stay in their homes, heap up those piles of stones, take it as their investment, and well, what's the harm in taking some rest? Go on with the life, especially with the pandemic that's going on and with all the financial crisis we are going through. It would have been great if I would have had those piles of precious stones and gems all around me. So, yes, uh, that is the most appropriate, like the Stone Age is the most appropriate era I would like to go back in. Thank you so much, TM Aliyash.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Anam Kadri. So that's end of the prehistoric era, and thank you so much for listening me. And we are in 2020. So over to you, Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Sachwe.
Timer votes. Okay, I'll I'll do that. So Toastmaster Latif, has everyone qualified?
Yes, all are qualified.
Can you please repeat the names?
TM Ali Asnan
Mic is
Babar,
muted.
TM Ali Asnan Babar, TM Janzeb, guest Lane Gray, TM Wajad, TM Heba Rais Khan, and TM Anam Kadri.
Right. So just in a while you will get the polls. Okay, the polls are about to be up in 3, 2, 1. Okay. Please vote for the best speaker. And while you are doing that, I would like to have this big honor to introduce our general evaluator of the meeting, the very dedicated, the very enthusiastic, the live wire of Karachi Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Hina Ali. So please, Toastmaster Hina, continue with the general evaluation session.
Good evening, Toastmaster Saad Shoaib and fellow Toastmasters and welcome guests. Thank you very much for a very beautiful and moving introduction. Today, I am the meeting's general evaluator, and the purpose of the general evaluator is to evaluate everything that takes place throughout the meeting. So during the meeting, I've been taking notes on all of what has been happening or hasn't been happening, and I'll be evaluating all of the participants so far. And included in this evaluation session, of course, will be the team of role players who will be giving their reports, but most importantly, our individual speech evaluators who will give our speakers feedback, because feedback is the food for or breakfast for champions, and we've got a lot of champions in the making today. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our first speech evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Shamam Khan, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Arusa Kaval's 2 speeches on presentation mastery. Toastmaster Shamam Khan, are you available?
Yes, I am here. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You're audible and visible. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Hina. Toastmaster Urusa delivered an informational speech about the overview of her project plan and her experiences managing the project. She started off with an element of surprise. The bell rings and the director assigns a project. And she was very honest in sharing her perplexed feelings, which are the part and parcel of such assignments out of the blue. So she was very clear on what she intends to achieve, that is the formation of District Women Committee. And she explained the team building process. She introduced the team, all her members around it. However, when there were no roles, as she mentioned, there could be a bit more about the strategy or the efforts for developing around the team, for the clarity on developing a team that could have brought our engagement more towards our content of the speech. Then she also shared her learning and experiences. The first one was about incorporating the creativity of the members towards accomplishing the goals and then staying connected. So that was overall a very well organized content. About the delivery of the speech, I really liked the way she narrated her experience in the form of a story, with facial gestures of being baffled initially of what's happening with no roles around and everything. So that was perfect. However, a bit of improvisation on physical gestures could have made us more interested in her speech. For example, she could use some of the expressions from her teammates around when they had no clarity around their role. So there could be some element of humor in it. Title of this speech was missing though. While I can see that with this kind of project, Pink Hat could be a powerful title that could have attracted us towards a story of Pink Hat is feminine, and so everyone could be more interested towards her story. Overall, Toastmaster Urusa excelled at creating the content and narrating it as a personal story. She may want to work on elaborating more on her plans, developing team. How was her experience in picking the members, on what strategies, on what criteria that could have brought some more in-depth efforts towards team building and planning for a project, and incorporating some fun gestures into the delivery. Overall, I congratulate you for time and efforts for project planning, and I wish you all the best with your venture of Pink Hat. Over to you, to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Shamam. Very eloquent and on point evaluation. Moving on, our next speaker for the day was to be evaluated by Toastmaster Anam Qadri, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Karim Meghani, and we look forward to a champion evaluation here. Toastmaster Anam Qadri, are you available? Are you here?
Yes. Yes, I am.
Okay. We can hear you and we can see you. Over to you.
Thank you so much, TM Hina. TM Kareem, while your boss made you learn a very good message, your boss, Mr. Harichan, I learned a very good message at the end of your speech. And that is, if you want to be a true winner, you need to learn what a ruthless evaluator has to speak about your speech. And well, I will be going to serve that purpose for now. TM Kareem, you started off really nice with the punchline, a quote from your boss, telling us that what you went through, and that grasped our attention from the very beginning. You took our attention, you took the audience attention, and the best part was when your entire speech was revolved around that single quote. You didn't deviate from your title. You didn't deviate from the first punchline that you gave in your speech. And that was something really commendable. Because sometimes as a speaker, you tend to waver off to various other aspects of the life, but you kept your focus on your first line and you built up your story around that. It was a well organized, well memorized speech. It given in a well lit room. I could see you, I could view your expressions, whatever you wanted to say. I found that pain in your face. I felt it like I truly empathized what you must have went through when you were going through the series of events, aiming from being a manager, from being appointed as a manager, and ending up in the basement, shining up that cutlery and those pots and pans. You gave us a very good message of how life gives you the crap in the beginning and yet leaves you shining, all shined up, all adorned in the end. And I can see that in your personality today. You had great, meaningful pauses that embellished your speech content and that added life to your speech. But what I found was that there was limited stage utilization. If you could have moved and used the screen. For now, we are obviously working virtually, so you have to utilize the screen to the fullest. Move, present your points in different aspects so that we know that how you have divided your speech in your beginning, then your body and your conclusion, what you want to emphasize best in your speech by giving all these bodily gestures. The hand gestures were there, but I found most of your speech like this. You were moving your hands, but right there and then, but you came back to clasping your hands in the end of almost every point in the beginning. I can understand there is a little aspect of nervousness when you present your speech, especially when you are new in the Toastmasters. But trust me, TM Kareem, if you're going to open-handedly deliver your speech, it will help you develop that, overcome that anxiety, develop a confidence in your speech. Plus, it will help you come out of your nervousness. Overall, it was a very good speech, well organized, good content, embellished with meaningful pauses, with appropriate voice modulation. The speech content was super, excellent message, relatable to all the times that the humans have come through. And yes, we can relate it to every era. The speech, like I said, grasps the audience attention by the usage of the quotes. One thing that you need to work on and that you can take as your challenge is that put in more dramatic effects in your speech, visually and audibly. And work on the integration of your speech with the audience. Like you can ask some questions or you can get a few feedbacks from the audience during your speech. Overall, very nice speech. Thank you so much for delivering it's so well. Over to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anam, for an effective evaluation indeed. And we look forward to hearing Toastmaster Kareem Meghani's speech again with the help of this feedback. Moving on to our third speech of the day, we will have Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum evaluating Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, who was doing the presentation and feedback part 2. Over to you, Toastmaster Ali.
Thank you so
Are you
much,
there?
Toastmaster. Yes, I'm here. Thank you so much, Toastmaster. Okay, so my target speaker, Naveed Aslam, was his project objective was to deliver a speech and had the feedback and the apply that in his this speech. So last time he have uh, he was lacking a bit of vocal variety, eye contact, but this time he just nailed it. I must say the control and the pauses were excellent. My target speaker, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, used facts, figures in a very good manner. His uh, his speech was concrete, and I must say I love the flow of the speech as he is addressing sing, a complex thing. So his structure is simple, and that I like the most in his speech. His structure start with the discussion, the topic, the current scenario, then jump to the causes and the reason of the situation, and then the recommendation. This is, I think the perfect way to address such issue. Moreover, I like the voice modulation, which he was lacking in his previous speech. His voice speed was optimum for for the sentence he was speaking. I can feel the pain. I can feel the pain and and uh, when he was addressing the issues. However, he can improve his speech by a a, a bit of uh, uh, improvisation in the start of the speech. He can he can add uh, a bit of energy, but not make it too much. And so overall, he delivered a great speech. Over to you, the general evaluator Toastmaster Hena.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ali Anjum. An excellent evaluation, and I'm sure Toastmaster Naveed uh, will work on all of those excellent points that you gave him. Moving on to our fourth speech, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani would be evaluating Toastmaster Saad Shoaib's icebreaker from his second pathway, engaging humor. Toastmaster Kareem, are you available?
Yes, I'm available. Is I am audible?
Yes, you are. You're audible and you're visible. Over to you, Toastmaster Kareem.
Thank you, evaluator. So, Mr. Saad Shoaib, to evaluate you, it was unlucky for you today that your internet was a big challenge for you, because you started really well, and the way you were explaining yourself, I think that your introduction, I want to know more about you. That was wonderful. You talked about you started your second pathway, so the congratulations for you first, and now how you are connecting with all the audience, and you are telling them that you are introducing yourself. So that's very interesting, because we all know you, but some of them don't know you. So you really consider that people. Your body language, excellent. You're a very relaxed person. You're very, I can see you, and I can feel that you are a very pleasant personality. When we look at you, when we listen to you, it is all wonderful. And when we are seeing this all wonderful, pleasing personality, the whole audience engage with you, and that's phenomenal. That's very nice of you. And I think that you talked about your interest. One of the things which I pick in your speech is about you talked about passionate about cricket, and you talked about passion about Toastmasters, and that was very interesting part for me. I can say that, if I had been in your position, probably I would be exploring more about cricket and Toastmaster in details. But I think your limitations was one thing. I think because of the internet connectivity, I would be rather focusing on that interest, because I would be love to listen about your cricket adventures or Toastmaster adventures in your first pathway. What was your achievements were? And I think that can add a value to the speech, and I think it's add to the value to all the speakers, in fact. So wonderful speech, and we really congratulate you for your second pathway, and we hope that you will be successful and you will achieve your pathway sooner or later. And we all, and you said that all your evaluator, your people are around you are helping you. Please look to them and ask them feedback. And I think all the best feedback you will get, you will improve more. Thank you. Wonderful speech.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Kareem Meghani, for a very positive and encouraging evaluation for an icebreaker, albeit Toastmaster Saad is now a seasoned Toastmaster for the past year or so. But still, even with the technical issues, still he did a great job, and I appreciate your commending him on that. Right, on to our last evaluation for today. Toastmaster Babar Ali Hasnain, who will be evaluating Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum's very difficult and challenging speech from his dynamic leadership pathway, level 4. Toastmaster Babar Ali Anjum, Babar Ali Hasnan, my apologies. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
And I hope I got your name right this time.
Yeah,
Babar
finally,
Ali
yes.
Hasnan, right? Okay. Over
Ali
to you.
Hassan.
Ali Hasnan Babar.
That's another debate. Let's move on to evaluation.
Oh,
Thank you, Madam
please change
Toastmaster.
your name, or let allow us to give you a new name. Let us call you a Tom Cruise from today.
Or maybe we can have
I
word of
second
the
that.
day for a
I second
meeting.
that. Tom Cruise. I
My
second that.
name only. Okay, done with the ideas. I think let's move on to the evaluation.
Back to the evaluation. Thank you.
And my apologies in advance if I'm not able to do that justice, because I was right in the middle of my dinner when I was called upon. So starting with the evaluation, virtual learning, are we ready? The most amazing part I found about the speech, it's really interesting if you can hook your audience in the first 10 seconds. And I'm glad my target speaker, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum, successfully did that in the first 10 seconds by singing a song. Hopefully one day I will also come up with a song, but I don't think with this voice I will be really good at singing, but we'll definitely give it a try. I have a good platform of KTC. That was wonderful, hooking the audience in the first 10 seconds. And in this pandemic, we are facing all sorts of crisis, including social crisis. The choice of words, the ideas you expressed, the stats you shared regarding the literacy and the number of people that have access to the internet, all that was amazing. That made your speech quite concrete, and the flow of idea was really great in your speech. uh, the part that I liked most about your speech, you were confident, even though there were a lot of interruptions, a lot of people trying to break the flow, but still you managed to complete the speech with the confidence. Your contact was perfect, always towards the camera, never rolling your eyes. Your body gestures were too great, and always expressing your expressions with the body language. That was great. And the audience handling, that was the core purpose of your project. You did that amazingly. It was hard to figure out the areas of improvement, but still I managed to figure out a few. Vocal variety, I think it would have been better if you had dramatized your speech with more vocal variety. And it could be like, can you imagine what would be the literacy rate of Pakistan? How much of the people have the access to internet? Can you all imagine that? Maybe a bit of inflection in the that would have been better. And then you could have asked questions to engage your audience more. And then coming to the virtual part, it's always good if you have a proper light on the face that makes your expressions more visible, more clear. And you can work on the lighting part, and secondly on the reasonable amount of space. Like what image I got was you were in the corner and the space you could move around to was very minimal. You could always increase the space, move with the flow of the content, and make more impact on your audience. So try to get more space in the virtual meeting. And just to give you a quick summary of your speech, your passion for the topic was clear. It was well organized, well planned. You handled interruptions, arguments, and people with different points of view in a very professional way. And I think, in my opinion, you are ready to move out of KTC for a professional project. Best of luck with your future endeavors. Thank you. That's all from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Babar Ali Hasnain. That was a very professionally delivered evaluation to a budding professional speaker. And I'm not sure trainer or educator, but best of luck to you, Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum. You really did nail it, as he said. Now, now that we're done with the speech evaluations, we'll move on to the various role players who were observing different aspects of the meeting today.
Votes for the evaluators.
Oh, yes, of course. My bad. Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the evening, the Toastmaster Saad. Timer, could we please have the timer's report? Have all the evaluators qualified? Toastmaster Latif?
Yeah, thank you, General Evaluator TM Hina. Anam Kadri has spoke for 4 minutes 46 seconds. Other than her, everybody is qualified.
Okay, so Toastmaster Anam Kadri, unfortunately disqualified from the voting. But everybody please give your votes in now. And while you're doing that, we'll move on with the rest of this general evaluation session. As I said, the facilitators in the meeting are role players who are observing various aspects of the meeting. I will ask them one by one.
Apologies. The
table topic evaluation.
Table topic evaluation.
Oh, yes, of course. I always tend to forget that. My bad. My bad. Right. Our table topics evaluator today is, and I'm missing this name. Yes. Toastmaster Samir, DTM Samir Dodi. My deepest apologies. Toastmaster Samir Dodi, are you here?
Yes, I am.
All right, great. Over to you. Take it away.
Thank you very much, General Evaluator. Today, the first speaker was Ali Hasnan, and he was given the topic of the baby dinosaur. So I could see his head and shoulder, and he started off with his thing like, okay, it's been 1 year since I've had table topics. I felt that a few times he was looking away. I mean, it's very difficult to look into the eyes of the audience, but try to look into the camera when you're talking. And you were holding the pen in your right hand, so perhaps let the pen go when you were gesturing. You had a nice sense of humor with the like the wife and socialization. However, I felt perhaps you could have used slightly more voice modulation. Okay, then we had Jahanzeb Shah, the first human on Earth. There was no video on, and quite frankly, I was trying to look for him, fiddling around for the first 30 seconds, trying to say, okay, where is he? Where is he? But then he didn't have the video on. So next time, please do try to turn the video on. He had a nice take on climate change, which he related quite well to the first and last humans on Earth. His connection was slightly poor, so I missed a part of his speech. So, and then we had Toastmaster Gray. What animal would you like to tame? You jumped right in without greetings. However, I must say that you had a very, 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 good flow of words about elephants being strong, family instinct, extremely good flow of words. You had good eye contact. You were looking into the camera. How and I felt that you could have had slightly more voice modulation, especially we were talking about cruelty to animals, because that is something I feel you really I think that feel very strongly about. So I would have liked to have slightly high, more voice modulation at that time. Then we have Toastmaster Vijahat about his house going into the ocean. You had the video on, but I think that perhaps you could sit back slightly because your head was being cut off. You jumped in without greetings. You were interlinking your fingers a few times. Try to steeple them if you must. That would give you, I think, slightly more confidence. But you had good humor about making your house into a ship. Then you had Toastmaster Hiba. Toastmaster Hiba, I would very much like you to shift your camera a bit so we could see your whole face and your body, because usually you're in the corner and your face is cut. So I could not really, once again, right now, I couldn't really see your facial expressions. So do try
Sorry
to.
about
No, not at all, not at all. I know that it's so difficult. I find it really difficult to use this technology, but try to have the frame in between. You had a very nice play that instead of building something, you said, well, I'd like to build a time capsule. And I loved the way you spoke about going back to the good memories. Toastmaster Anam, you jumped in the greetings, but I loved the way you spoke about Stone Age and led that to jewelry and led that to family. And in the end, I must say you had a lovely smile. Over to you.
Thank you, DTM Samir, as always, on point and incredible. I'm always asked to do this role and I decline because I cannot do it as quickly and as emphatically and effectively as you. Thank you so much. Now back to the facilitators, as I was saying. Our first facilitator for today is the grammarian, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Toastmaster Imran Rana, our immediate past president, a very dedicated Toastmaster indeed. Are you there, Toastmaster Imran?
Yes, thank you very much, General Evaluator. Apologies for not able to switch on my videos. Okay,
Not at all. We
so
can hear you loud and clear. Please go ahead.
great. Okay, today's my job is so simple and easy that although I was the grammarian and my job was to note down the incorrect usage of grammar, but fortunately, I didn't find any of the incorrect usage. Today, all the speakers were extremely good. They were good at grammar. So, with that, I would like to hand over back charge to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Imran Rana. Now onwards, could I request our counter, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam. Toastmaster Naveed Aslam, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Please, could you give us a report? Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah. So unfortunately, by the time I reach home, mine was the third speech. So I couldn't actually calculate the first two speeches, and after me were two, and I didn't find any or within that speech. So that's nil from my side.
Thank you, Toastmaster Naveed. Onwards, I'd like to ask our wordmaster of the day, our debutant, Toastmaster Wajahat. May we please have your report? Are you there?
Yeah, I am here. Thank you very much for allowing me to speak.
Thank you.
Can you hear me, all of you? Am I audible?
Yes, you are. You're audible and you're visible. Please go ahead.
Okay, understood. Thank you very much. Actually, I tried my best to listen everyone speech, everyone communication. I tried my level best to listen carefully, and the result, the conclusion I came to show all of you is that Ali Ashar Anjum, he used that word while he was speaking, and he was delivering the speech. So he used that word improvisation 4 times. And Miss Shamam, when she was evaluating the speech, she used that word twice. And sorry if I could not be able to find out, but in the whole scenario, in the whole meeting, I could not be able to see a single word of improvisation from anyone. But maybe because it's my first time, there's a possibility of error. So I'm sorry in advance. Thank you very much.
Not at all, Toastmaster Wajahat. That was a valiant effort. It is indeed not easy to keep paying attention all the time, but I think you got most of them. There were other people afterwards, but you got most of them. All right. Onwards, could I now please have our super grammarian, our listening post, Toastmaster Hiba Rais, to please give us some interesting phrases and words that our Toastmasters used during the meeting. Toastmaster Hiba, are you there?
Yes, I am. Okay, fellow Toastmasters and guests, as the listener, as I mentioned earlier, I would be calling out the words and phrases spoken by the speaker, and the audience will have to guess it. So the first one is perplexed feeling.
Karim Megani?
Perplexed feeling. Sorry?
Toastmaster Arusa Kaval, was it? I think.
No.
Karim Megani?
No.
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 TM Shamam.
Yes.
TM Shamam.
Okay.
All right.
Venture of Pink Hat.
President.
Can you repeat that?
Venture of Pink Hat.
Urusa.
No.
Oh, yes. Toastmaster Arusa.
No.
Shamam Khan.
Yes.
Shamam Khan.
Yes. Okay. Live wire of Karachi Toastmasters Club.
Toastmaster Saad.
Toastmaster
Yes.
Saad.
Toastmaster Saad.
Future endeavor.
Toastmaster Babar Ali Asnan.
Yes. Very good.
Ali Hassan Babar.
Okay.
It's the mystery which will remain unsolved.
Catastrophe that is happening. Catastrophe.
Toastmaster Ali Ashar Anjum.
Yes. I object to animal cruelty.
Toastmaster
Ian Gray.
Yes. You might be the Christopher Columbus of KTC.
Ali Ashar.
Aliya Shah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes. It would be fascinating, attracting.
TM Vajat.
Yes. Okay. Strata of the society. Strata of the society.
Ali Asher.
Yes. And then facets of life. The speaker should keep quiet.
Karim Meghani.
No.
Meghani.
No.
Facets of life.
TM Sa.
TM.
I knew that.
Yes.
Okay.
Quantum of the problem. Quantum.
This was the Toastmaster Naveed Aslam.
Yes. In Toastmaster fashion.
In
Toastmaster fashion.
Toastmaster.
I guess Team Urusa.
Yes. And then of sheer need.
Maybe Toastmaster Naveed.
No.
No, or was it TM Ali Ali Ashar?
No.
No, I don't
No.
remember this properly.
TM Urusa.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Embellishing me right now.
Toastmaster Anam.
Toastmaster Anam, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Reminisce the time. Reminisce the time.
This
Where
was the
did you get
That's you.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
that's you.
Yes. Okay. Out of the blue.
Team Shamam.
Yes. Came back to clasping your hand.
Toastmaster Anam.
Toastmaster
Yes.
Mr.
Anam.
Hiba, the time is up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
She is disqualified.
Thank you, President. Thank you.
I just
And
about
thank you, our super grammarian. That was really very interesting and nice. Thank you so much. All right, onwards with the rest of our facilitators. I have one more who I'm going to ask to give their report now, and then the last one would be after I complete. And that is our ever dedicated Toastmaster timer, Toastmaster Latif Mansoor Ali. Are you there?
I am here.
Okay, great. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, madam. Everyone is qualified. The meeting started on schedule. Today we had only 5 speakers. Everyone was energetic, all in order. Nothing much to say. Keep encouraging each other and enjoy.
You have said so many things, all in order. Toastmaster Talha, always created changes and disturbing the meeting.
And today I have really missed him, actually. Yes.
Yeah, we missed him. We definitely did.
Thank you.
Okay.
Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Latif. Thank you so much. All right. With that, we have only the vote counter left to announce. And as I said, I would like for that to happen right at the end. Now for my general evaluation of the meeting. So the meeting, I believe, would have started right on time had there not been some technical issue with my trying to log in today. So once that happened, I think The meeting flow went really well. We had our president introduce Toastmasters and have a very nice warm opening for the Toastmasters and guests. And then from there, she went on to introduce our Toastmaster of the evening. So I believe all that was done really well. Normally, usually the president is the person who observes if there are guests and introduces them or asks them to introduce themselves. So that was possibly missed. But being the cricket enthusiast, our Toastmaster of the evening, Toastmaster Saad, caught that and ensured that our guest, Toastmaster Ian Gray, was introduced. So thank you for that. Excellent theme of prehistoric times. You had a bit of a precursor on that and gave us an idea of that theme. And from then onwards, in the interest of time, you just carried the meeting through really well, despite technical issues at your end with your speech. And what I commend you, especially for Toastmaster Saad, is the fact that I just noticed that you took up 3 roles in today's meeting, and that deserves a round of applause. So you were the Toastmaster of the evening, you were the vote counter, and you gave your icebreaker speech as well. So very, very well done on that. Moving on, we had our table topics master, Toastmaster Ali Asher Anjum. I have to say, it's been a very long time since I saw such a well-managed and interesting table topic session in sync with the theme. I believe Toastmaster Saad Shoaib gave us a precursor of prehistoric times, and then you just carried us right through with it. So interesting facts that will stay with us and interesting topics, and I loved how you linked them. I especially like the one where you talked about the British Isles moving away and then, had the same sort of thought of your house being on the ocean suddenly and what would you do? So very well done, very creative. Just one small feedback if I could give to you when we start with this session, for the benefit of our guests especially, and also for Toastmasters who might be coming back after a long time, we quickly talk about the purpose of table topics and what the rules are on timing, and then from there on. But I can forgive that because as you started, you mentioned that to the first speaker, and then you just carried an excellent session and you managed your time. So I was looking at the time from when we started and to the point you started and ended, you did your session within this time. So very, very well done, Toastmaster Ali Asher. After that, we started our evaluation session. Excellent evaluations, on point, brilliant points to encourage the speakers and points for their improvement. Really lovely. One small feedback that I would like to give to all of you as evaluators in our Toastmasters environment, we have we take up a responsibility to give positive feedback. So even when we're giving points of improvement, we can, if it's possible, just try not to use words like however, but, things like that, because what that tends to do is can slightly bring a speaker down. Whereas if you just go in a flow that all of that was great, and of course with a great speech, you can make it better. For that, I'd like to just give you some points of improvement, and then that just stays positive, right? So try to do that. It's positive for the speaker and it's positive for all the audience as well. Doesn't leave a sort of slight negative feeling with anybody. So just that feedback. Other than that, great. Toastmaster Anam, you're our champ. Practice your time, please. We want you to win at division. We want you to win at district, inshallah. Okay. From then on, the rest of our facilitators, each and everybody did their roles well. Toastmaster Imran, Toastmaster Naveed, even with the limited time that he was able to do it. Toastmaster Vajahat, as I said, well done. Toastmaster Hiba, excellent out of all of the facilitators. Toastmaster Latif, as always, on point and excellent. But out of all of you, if I could give a vote to the best facilitator, Toastmaster Hiba Rais, it was you today. Absolutely smashing. Right, with that, I guess I come to a close on this. We are just about running out of time, and I think, as usual, I've not looked at whether I did this in 5 minutes or not. So my apologies for that. We've had a wonderful, great meeting. And yes, there were less disruptions today, but we always miss Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid, our VP Education, and someone who encourages us a lot. With that, I'd like to again say thank you, Toastmaster Shad. You have been an excellent Toastmaster of the evening, even with all the technical issues. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Hina, for those excellent words and step-by-step process in all of your evaluations. That was quite nice to maintain that hierarchy. So my last duty for the evening, as the Toastmaster of the day and also the vote counter, which is to please vote for your best Big Four, who is myself, Sachweb, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Hina Ali as the general evaluator, Toastmaster Ali Sharanjum as the table topic master, and also how can we forget the ever dedicated, the passionate and the evergreen DTM Samir Hamid for as the table topic evaluator. So please vote now, or else forever hold your silence. So as the polling is happening, I would like to hand back the charge to our president, Toastmaster Urusha Kawal. Over to you, Madam President.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saad. Indeed, as Toastmaster Hina put it, it was a wonderful meeting with amazing speeches, amazing table topics, and amazing evaluations. So for next week's meeting, how many of you like dressing up? Doing something different? Okay, so the people who are putting up hands, what do you like to dress up as?
Something creative.
All right.
On the hat, on the head.
All right. What about you, Toastmaster Hina? I can't hear you.
I'm thinking it's the weather's cooler and nobody's really going out for anything festive, so maybe dress up festive.
All right, so Toastmaster Ali?
Wearing mask.
Oh, wearing a mask. That's creative. So next week, let's do a masquerade ball. Let's dress up the way we want to dress up. Do something really creative. Take up characters, take up roles, and do do roles and from your favorite books, from your favorite movies, and from your favorite fairy tales. What do you say? All right. So next week there is a masquerade ball, and everyone's invited. Toastmaster Latif, you too. All right.
So, do you really want to know?
Oh, yes.
Unless you want everything.
No, I promise. Promise I won't. Being the speaker as well. So the first award is the best prepared speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's not me. That is that is for managing once again a very rootless, rude audience. Toastmaster Ali Asharanjan.
That's
The best table topic speaker, since you all, I I did message you, but 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 you were busy in having busy busy in busy in busy in having fun. But the best table topic speaker is our guest from Scotland, toast guest Ian Gray. So so that so that
okay.
that would have been nice to have him in the meeting. So yeah, I'll just tell him about it. And next comes the best prepared speech evaluator. Hold on. Toastmaster Babar Ali Hasnan. Maybe I got it right this
It's
time.
Ali Hassan Babar. It's Ali Hassan Babar.
Okay, so next we had the big four, a very tough poll that was, and I actually had no choice to had no chance to win it with two experienced toastmaster and a passionate table topic master. So but but actually David beats Goliath. So the best big four is Toastmaster Ali Asharanju. So that's about it from my side. Over to you, Madam President.
All right. So there are two more awards to give. The first one is the Critics Award, which is based on the International Speech Contest. And guess who won it?
Kari, you won it?
No, I didn't.
Toastmaster Sashib.
I don't. I don't think so.
Ali Ashar. Ali Ashar.
No.
No?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Toastmaster Naveed Aslam then. It was a very informative speech.
Toastmaster Kareem. Toastmaster
There we
Kareem.
go.
I said it in first.
Of course.
All right. And the Critics' Choice goes to our dedicated listener and our joke master, Toastmaster Hiba.
Disqualified हो गई थी हिबा.
Can I just have half a minute to speak right now?
Yeah, sure.
Because I missed, right? So, as you said, Toastmaster Hiba, today's joke master session was also outstanding. Nice, short, crisp jokes, and I was in splits with every single one of them. So very well done on that. And I'm sure everybody was entertained too. And also for our vote counter, Sajweb, you managed that whole process very well, very briskly, and very professionally. So very well done on that. Over to you, President. Sorry, I missed that.
Now the big four should be given to Toastmaster Hina.
Yes, from the next meeting. So with that, let's wrap up the meeting for today, and let's meet next week, dressed up as we like, and same place, same time.
Okay, everyone. Thank you very much for the attendance. Bye for now.